Kia ora, Mr. Speaker.
The Honourable Dr. Peter Sharples.
Kia ora, Mr. Speaker. A tēnā tātou katoa, tau Tokotoru, a mihi ki a tātou e hui tahi nei te kawe ai e nei kaupapa, mo tā rānei, me te mihi ki a rātou kua nuku mai ki a tātou I tēnei rangi tēnā koutou, whakapiri mai. Te arawa e, te arawa e. Today we gather here for the second reading of ngā Punawai o te Tokotoru Omnibus Bill. I'm honoured to welcome any of the people and acknowledge the people of Ngāti Rangi Wewehi today, Ngāti Rangi Te Aorere and Tapuika. Nā reira tēnā koutou katoa. Iwi eternally bound by whakapapa, forever bound by history, and today in this house, finally bound by justice. We remember their tīpuna, who millennia ago set off from the sands of Whenua. Today, their journey reaches Parliament as Ngāti Rangi Wewehi, Tapuika, and Ngāti Rangi Te Aorere once again work together for the future of their people. Mr. Speaker, ngā Punawai o te Tokotoru is a collective representing these three iwi of Te Arawa, whose members are based in and around Te Puke and Rotorua. While they have negotiated some aspects of their settlements as part of Te Tokotoru, they have in fact signed separate deeds of settlement. Ngā Punawai o te Tokotoru Omnibus Bill gives effect to the aspects of all three deeds of settlement with the Crown between 2012 and 2013 that will settle all outstanding historical Treaty of Waitangi claims for Ngāti Rangi Te Aorere, Ngāti Rangi Wewehi and Tapuika. Mr. Speaker, ko te heia te maunga, ko te awa hau me kai tāhuna ngā awa, ko tarimano te marae, ko puhirua me orangi kā hui ngā takotoranga o ngā tīpuna, ko rangi wewehi te iwi. The Crown brought war to Tauranga in 1864, and after Ngāti Rangi Wewehi supported their traditional allies, 290,000 acres of lands were confiscated. All customary interests in lands returned were compulsorily extinguished. Mr. Speaker, 100 years later, 1966, in our lifetime, Ngāti Rangi Wewehi's land loss continued with the compulsory Crown acquisition of whenua at Ngongotaha. A pump station was built over the ancestral Taniwha Springs, which remains to this day. The Crown breached the Treaty of Waitangi in its dealings with the descendants of Ngāti Rangi Wewehi. Over generations, lands were lost, lives were taken, and potential eroded. Mr. Speaker, he wai ko ripuripo, no wai o heua, ka u ki mātai kōtare, ka koinga te titiro ki ngā uri o rangi whakaeke au. Te whakapakari nei ki te pupuri ngā taonga tuku iho, ko Ngāti Rangi Te Aorere ka ora e. The 1800s saw Ngāti Rangi Te Aorere drawn into the New Zealand Wars with huge consequences. The native land courts' land policies left the Crown with lands that were flat, fertile and easily accessible by road. Ngāti Rangi Te Aorere was left with lands that were fragmented, steep, inaccessible, uneconomic. 50 years ago, the Tikitere geothermal field, prized by generations of Ngāti Rangi Te Aorere for its medicinal, spiritual and economic value, was taken by the Crown with the Geothermal Energy Act of 1953, the compulsory takeover of an ancestral wāhi tapu. Mr. Speaker, mai I ngā pai maunga ki te toropuke e tū kaumaira ki te aua e rere mai ana, wai ho te whenua ko te takapū o taku tamaiti a Tapuika. From the mountain range in the distance to the hills that stand before me, to the river that flows towards me, tapuika. This ancient claim was made by the Tipuna chieftain Tia aboard Te Arawa Waka. However, the arrival of the crown in this rohe soon brought war to Tia's people, and his ancient claim, along with the Treaty of Waitangi, was broken. A series of toa claims made by others to tapuika ancestral lands culminated with the crown land alienation policies that were akin to raupatu, punishing tapuika for taking up arms against the crown in the 1860s. The land loss was widespread and severe. Tapuika's loss would lead to the alienation of Tia's people from their ancestral lands. Deprived of economic, spiritual and cultural autonomy, generations of tapuika families have suffered incalculable loss. Mr. Speaker, all these things the families of Ngāti Rangi Wewehi, Ngāti Rangi Te Aorere, Ngāti Te Rangi Te Aorere and tapuika, all these things that they have lost, have suffered, can never be replaced. And yet these families wish to settle their grievances with the crown, with mana and with dignity. They honour us all with their incredible generosity. Ngā Punawai o te Tokotoru has enabled all three iwi to collectively negotiate with the crown and to also work with each other on their individual claims. The spirit of whanaungatanga and rangatiratanga demonstrated by Ngāti Rangi Te Aorere, Ngāti Rangi Wewehi and Tapuika will enable the resolution of claims across these three tribes. This collective approach is already being replicated across Aotearoa. I thank Ngā Punawai o te Tokotoru for leading by example. So many of those who have made this day possible are no longer with us. But with this bill's passing, their mahi and their mana will be forever honoured in the laws of Aotearoa, New Zealand. Today is a day to remember those who have passed on, to resolve grievances with those who are with us today, and to plan for those yet to be born. From the sacred marae of Tapu Tapu Atea, to the beating hearts of Te Arawa, to the New Zealand House of Representatives, Te Arawa e, Te Arawa e. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Honourable Nanaia Mahuta.
I rise to speak in the second reading of Ngā Punawai o te Tokotoru